Comfy is the key too. There are kisses, and then there are moments that make a man stop breathing. If you know where to place them, you don't just kiss him, you own him. This isn't about seduction. This is about power. Your power. Because when a woman moves with purpose, with presence, and with intention, he won't just want you, he'll crave you. Let's break down the 5 places a man can't resist your kiss. Because when you learn this, you don't chase attention. You command it. The neck is not just a place on the body. It's a portal to raw, unfiltered desire. It's where sensitivity lives closest to the surface, where even the lightest touch can send a shockwave down the spine. When your lips graze his neck, you aren't just touching skin, you're waking up something primal. It's a place he doesn't guard because he doesn't expect you to go there as with intention. That's why it works. It's not just the kiss, it's the audacity behind it. The moment your lips linger there, you're not asking for permission. You're taking a moment, and in doing so, you're taking his breath with it. Comfort is the key too. There's something electric about the vulnerability of a man's neck. It's exposed, unprotected, and surprisingly intimate. You might think strength lives in his arms or chest, but as warmth lives in his neck. It's where tension gathers, where nerves fire off faster, and where one well-placed kiss can melt away the walls he didn't even know he'd built. It's not about being gentle or aggressive. It's about being present. It's the difference between touching him and affecting him. A kiss here says you're not afraid of intensity, and that confidence alone is magnetic. Kissing his neck can also become a language. You're speaking without words, but every brush of your lips says something. I see you, want you, I know what makes you lose control. That's power, that's precision, and he feels that. He feels it not just in his body but in his mind. Because now he's no longer thinking. He's reacting. The neck kiss bypasses logic. It skips the small talk. It goes straight to his instinct. And when you can tap into instinct, you're no longer just someone he desires. You're someone he can't escape it for, but it is not just where you kiss. It's for how, the timing, the pressure, intention. A kiss at the base of the neck is grounding, while one closer to the jaw ignites. A slow kiss down the side tells him you're savoring him. A quick, teasing one followed by silence. That leaves him chasing the next. You create a rhythm that pulls him into your orbit. You create contrast, softness against heat, pauses between intensity, and suddenly, he's not just experiencing the kiss. He's memorizing it. There's also the energy exchange that happens in that moment. The neck is connected to the heartbeat. It's close to the pulse, the flow of emotion, and when you kiss it, you're not just playing with physical desire, you're playing with emotional access. You're telling him, even if just for a second, you don't have to be in control right now. That hits deeper than any fantasy. That breaks open a door he didn't know needed unlocking. And once it's open, he won't want it closed. A kiss on the neck, done right, leaves a mark, sometimes literal, but always emotional. Confidence truly is the key too. It's the kind of moment that lingers long after the night ends. It's in the way he'll replay it, in the way he'll flinch with memory the next time you lean close. It becomes a trigger, a signal, a signature. It's not about trying to impress. It's about making a nest impression. And when you know how to do that, when you kiss with awareness, presence, and unapologetic intention, you don't just awaken his body. You haunt his thoughts. Behind his ear lies a secret no one talks about, but every man feels. It's that sliver of skin where nerves are amplified and the line between anticipation and surrender blurs. A kiss there isn't just intimate. It's strategic of you're not rushing in with fire. You're arriving with silence, key to, with breath, with the kind of stillness that makes everything else around it fade. When your lips hover there, just close enough for him to feel your warmth, but not quite touching yet. You're creating tension. And extension is power. It builds in his chest, in his stomach, in every cell of his body that suddenly forgets how to stay calm. The beauty of kissing behind the ear is that it speaks in subtleties. It's not loud or theatrical. It's whispered chaos. You're in his blind spot. And that's exactly why it hits differently. There's something wildly intoxicating about being kissed where you can't quite see it coming. It short-circuits logic. It shuts down thought. In that moment, he's not thinking about control, ego, or performance. He's a feeling, and that's where you win. Because once a man starts a feeling, really feeling, he becomes yours in ways even he can't explain. That spot behind the ear is wired with sensitivity that most men don't even know they have until someone dares to explore it. It's an erogenous zone that hides in plain sight. The moment you kiss it, softly or with pressure, you're not just surprising him, you're awakening something. It's delicate, it's personal, and it's incredibly powerful. Why? Because that kind of touch bypasses performance and taps into presence. He's no longer posturing. He's experiencing you. That kiss becomes a message that says, I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to reach you. And what makes it even more irresistible is that it's so rarely claimed. Most women overlook it. They focus on lips, chest, hands. But this is overlooked terrain. And that makes it yours. The first time your mouth finds that space behind his ear, he'll pause. He might gasp. He might freeze. But what he won't do, what he can't do, is forget. Because you didn't just kiss him. You surprised him. You studied him. And you moved with the kind of confidence that makes a man question every encounter he thought was intimate before you. The rhythm of your kiss matters too. Start slow. Let him hear your breath. Let him feel the space between you before you close it. Then land the kiss like a whisper with weight. Soft lips. Maybe a graze of your teeth. Maybe the breath that follows, hot against his skin. Every movement is an invitation deeper into himself. And deeper into you. He's not just reacting to the kiss. He's surrendering to the fixed experience. It's sensual, it's disarming, and it's completely out of his control. That's where your power lies. Not in force, but in the ability to undo him without warning. Behind the ear is where confidence meets intimacy. You don't kiss, there lies the kiss. No, it's not a kiss that seeks approval. It's a kiss that assumes it. That's what makes it unforgettable. When your lips land there with purpose and presence, you're saying more than I want you. You're saying, I know how to move you. That kiss doesn't scream, it echoes. And long after your lips are gone, the memory lingers in his thoughts, in his nerves, in his pulse, because no one else thought to go there. And now no one else compares. The collarbone is a place most people overlook. But that's exactly why it holds so much power. It's not the most obvious spot, and that's the point. When your lips find it, it feels deliberate, focused. It's true intentional box. The collarbone sits just above the heart, just below the tension, and right between where strength meets vulnerability. When you kiss a man there, you're not chasing attention. You're making a statement. It's slow, burning seduction. The kind that sneaks under his skin without ever needing to announce itself. It's not about taking control. It's about others knowing you already have it. There's something deeply psychological about the collarbone. It's exposed when he opens up, literally and emotionally. When his shirt falls open, when his guard drops, when the world quiets down. That's when that kiss matters. Because it's a kiss that says, I see you. I'm not rushing. Reading you. That moment, where your lips meet his collarbone, is a moment of reading between the lines. You're not just interacting with his body, you're studying it. And in doing so, you make him feel something deeper than lust. You make him feel as seen, but the skin over the collarbone is thin, sensitive, and reactive. It responds to heat, to pressure, to intention. It's where touch becomes emotion. Go a kiss here can calm him or ignite him, depending on your energy. That's the beauty of this space. It's versatile. If you kiss it slowly, with a soft breath, it soothes. If you kiss it with a bit more pressure, it sparks. You set the tone. You create the atmosphere. It's not about performing. It's about connecting. And once he feels that connection, you shift from physical interaction to emotional intimacy. That's when the real chemistry begins. The collarbone also holds a kind of quiet authority. It's not wild or aggressive. It's precise. Kissing him here shows that you're not interested in following the script. You're writing your own. You're not rushing to the obvious places. You're starting where emotion simmers just beneath the surface. Is the key to that tells him everything he needs to know. It tells him you're confident. You're patient. You know exactly how to unravel him piece by piece without ever losing your center. And that captivates him. Because true power doesn't demand attention. It draws it in naturally. There's also a symbolism to the collarbone. It's the frame around the chest, the gateway to the heart. Kissing it says, I'm not afraid to get close to who you really are. It's a soft challenge, a silent invitation. You're not rushing to the finish line. You're savoring the journey. In that pause, in that patience, he feels something different. He feels at his depth. He feels you choosing to explore him, not just physically, but as energetically. That kiss, subtle as it may seem, creates gravity. It's the kind of kiss that lingers in memory longer than the most passionate one. What makes this spot so powerful is that it doesn't scream for attention. It's not dramatic, but that's its strength. It's understated and unforgettable. A kiss on the collarbone is for the woman who doesn't need to prove her power, because she embodies it. She moves with presence, with precision, and with quiet fire. When she kisses him there, it's not about making him want her. It's about making himself feel chosen. That feeling, that quiet, deep recognition, that's the one that stays with him long after the moment has passed. The lower back is one of the most underestimated zones of the male body, and that's exactly why it's so powerful. It's not the place people usually go first. There's nothing flashy about it, but that's what makes it a sense of intimate. When you kiss a man there, you're touching a space that's usually protected, rarely explored, and deeply connected to his sense of trust. It's subtle, it's quiet, but it sends a message loud and clear. X, truly you're safe with me. And in a world that demands men to always be in control, that kind of safety is unforgettable. This kiss doesn't just feel good. It does something to him on a sixth deeper level. The lower back is a symbol of foundation and support. It's the part of him that holds strength, that carries stress, key to, that grounds his entire body. And when your lips land there, when you slow down and take your time in that space, you're saying, you don't have to hold it all right now. That touch tells him he can exhale. He can release. He doesn't have to be the unbreakable one. And that release, it's addictive. Physically, The lower back is incredibly responsive. It's filled with nerve endings that don't get triggered in everyday touch. So when someone finally gives it attention, especially with warmth, softness, and intention, it lights up. It wakes up. A kiss in that area isn't just sensual, it's disarming. But it's the kind of touch that makes him stop, freeze, lean in. Not because it's wild or overwhelming, but because it's rare. And rarity creates intensity. He's not expecting it. And that's what makes it unforgettable. There's also something profoundly emotional about being touched in a place you're not used to being touched. It bypasses the predictable and slips into something more vulnerable. Lower back is where instinct meets emotion. It's where connection becomes physical but also psychological. When you kiss him there, it's not just about arousing him. It's about us anchoring him. It's a kiss that says, I see the parts of you no one else thinks to see. And in a world of surface level affection, the key to that kind of depth is a rare and powerful gift. The posture of this kiss matters too. When you're behind him, close enough to kiss his lower back, the dynamic shifts. You're taking the lead, but you're doing it with care, not dominance. You're creating closeness without pressure, and that balance is everything. There's no rush, no demand, just presence. That kind of approach is magnetic. He doesn't truly is in control. He feels like he's being held. And that experience rewires the way he feels about intimacy itself. What makes this kiss truly impactful is the way it contrasts with everything he's used to. He might expect intensity at the neck, passion on the lips, but tenderness at the lower back. That surprises him. That slows him down. That shifts him out of performance and into presence. Is the key to. It reminds him that connection isn't always loud. It's felt. And once he experiences that, once he knows you're capable of touching him in a way that speaks to his searcher center, not just his desire, he won't just want you. He'll trust you, and that kind of emotional imprint, that doesn't fade. The inner wrist is one of the most intimate, overlooked places you can kiss. And yet, it holds a kind of vulnerability that very few areas of the body can match. It's where the pulse lives, where the blood flows just beneath the surface, where the skin is thin, delicate, and constantly exposed, but rarely touched with intention. When you kiss a man there, you're not going for the obvious. You're reading him. You're seeing the place where emotion meets energy, where control breaks down, and where something sacred begins to open. That kiss says, I'm not here to take, I'm here to feel. And that's magnetic. There's something hauntingly beautiful about that moment when your lips meet the soft skin of his wrist. It's quiet. It's not meant for show. It's meant to be felt. This kind of kiss doesn't shout. It whispers. And that whisper travels through his entire nervous system like a coded message. It says more than physical want. It says emotional presence. That kiss tells him, I want all of you. Not just the parts you show to the world. It's tender, but it's not weak. It's the kind of kiss that hits him somewhere he didn't even know was waiting for affection. The inner wrist is the space of his body that connects him to himself. It's where his life force pulses. It's a place where a man may wear a watch, a tattoo, a scar. A place that carries time, memory, rhythm. So when you choose to kiss him there, it's like pressing your lips against his story. You're not just acknowledging the moment. You're honoring everything he carries within it. And that kind of attention, it's not just attractive, it's unforgettable. You're not rushing to arouse. You're pausing to reveal. And that's what sets you apart. This kiss, though small in action, is massive in impact. It builds tension in the most unexpected way. It's soft and sensual, but also deeply symbolic. It's a gesture that catches him off guard because it's not performative, it's real. It brings his guard down. Because key two, you're not reaching for what everyone else reaches for. You're choosing the part of him that holds quiet energy, and that quiet energy becomes yours to hold. In a single, thoughtful kiss, you move from surface level attraction to emotional gravity. And that shift changes everything. His forehead is one of the most emotionally rich places you can kiss. And yet, it's often the most underestimated. A kiss there doesn't shout. It doesn't seduce in the traditional sense. But it speaks. It says things your mouth doesn't to say. It tells him, you matter. I see beyond your strength. I honor your mind, your spirit, your soul. That kind of kiss doesn't just touch the skin. It reaches through it. It says, you are more than what the world demands from you. And in a culture that constantly pushes men to be stoic, strong, and silent, a kiss like that feels like that feel freedom. There's something deeply grounding about placing your lips on a man's forehead. It feels ancient, almost spiritual. It bypasses the body's usual routes of desire and goes straight to the heart of who he is. The forehead is where his thoughts live, where his worries rest, where his past lingers. When you kiss him there, you're not just connecting with flesh. You're touching his mind. You're offering calm in the chaos, softness in a world that tells him softness is weakness. And that kind of gesture, it doesn't just feel good. It feels like being, oh no, it's not flashy. It's not about dominance. It's about ex-devotion. And that's why it hits so deep. A forehead kiss is something a man never forgets. Not because it turns him on, but because it turns something in him. It reaches the part of him that wonders if he's doing enough, if he's being enough. When your lips land gently on that space, you silence that question. You reassure him without needing to speak. You remind him that he's not just desired, he's self-loved. Not for what he does, but for who he is when he's not performing. There's also a kind of reverence in this kiss. It's almost holy. Key two, you're not claiming territory, you're honoring it. You're acknowledging the man behind the armor, the one who gets tired, the one who carries pressure in silence, the one who doesn't always know how to ask for comfort but just needs it anyway. When you kiss his forehead, you step into the role no one else even thought to play. You become the safe place, the peace, the softness that doesn't ask him to change, but invites him to Azir's rest. And here's the thing, men crave this more than they'll ever say out loud. A kiss on the lips might stir his passion. A kiss on the neck might awaken his desire. But a kiss on the forehead, that speaks to the little boy inside him who still wants to be held, who still longs to feel that he's enough without proving a thing. You touch that place, and you touch something as eternal. Something that doesn't fade with time or routine. That kind of emotional impact is more powerful than any grand gesture. It's quiet, but it's a transformational pug. What makes this kiss unforgettable is the way it reverses the script. Instead of asking him to give, you ex-give. Instead of waiting to be adored, you adore him, not just his body, but his essence being. And when you do that, you create a space where he doesn't have to perform, protect, or pretend. He can just exhale, be, and that freedom, that emotional release, that's what bonds him to you. Not out of need, but out of a recognition. Because when you kiss a man's forehead, you're not just touching skin, you're touching memory, emotion, truth. And that's the kind of kiss that stays with him, even when you're no longer there. So now you know. Each of these kisses holds more power than you ever imagined. They're not just about attraction. They're about connection, depth, presence. They speak to a man's heart, his mind, his body, and his soul. Because real intimacy isn't built through grand gestures or surface-level moves. It's built in the spaces others overlook, in the way you pause, the way you see him, the way you make him feel. If you want to leave a mark he'll never forget, don't chase attention. Command it through intention. Don't just be desirable. Be unforgettable. Start exploring these moments with presence, with purpose, and with power. And if this awakens something in you, share it with your sisters, your friends, your tribe. Let's shift the way we think about intimacy, one kiss at a time. Subscribe for more bold truths and transformational insight, because this is just the beginning. When you kiss his inner wrist, you create contrast. The world demands strength from him. You bring softness. The world asks him to be stoic. You show him it's safe to feel. Your kiss doesn't just touch his skin, it mirrors his heartbeat. It tells him, you don't need to explain, you just need to be. And in that space, he relaxes, he surrenders, not to your dominance, but to your presence. Because presence is more powerful than control. It's more impactful than desire. It's what makes a man feel chosen, seen, and deeply valued. What makes this moment unforgettable is that it doesn't rely on intensity to make an impact. It relies on intimacy. A kiss on the wrist isn't about physical chemistry. It's about emotional chemistry. It's about creating a moment he never expected but will always remember. It's gentle but it lingers. It's subtle but it sears into memory. And once he's felt that, once he's been kissed with that kind of awareness and intentionality, every other kiss will feel a little less complete. Because you didn't just touch his body. You touched his rhythm. You matched his pulse. And that's something no one else can replicate. His inner thigh is one of the most powerful, electric places you can kiss. But only if you understand the depth of what that kiss actually means. This isn't about rushing toward desire. This is about honoring it. The inner thigh is territory that lives between strength and surrender, between instinct and vulnerability. It's protected for a reason. Covered, guarded, close to his core. So when your lips find their way there, slowly, intentionally, it sends a message that is impossible to ignore. It says, I see your power, and I choose to honor it with presence, not haste. That changes the entire dynamic. There's an intensity that lives in this space, because it's where tension builds before it releases, is the key to. When you kiss a man's inner thigh, you're not just giving physical pleasure, you're creating anticipation. And anticipation is everything. Key your lips hovering there, the warmth of your breath, the pause between movement. These are the things that unravel him. You're not just igniting desire, you're controlling its tempo. You're showing him that intimacy doesn't have to sprint. It can simmer. It can build. And in that slow build, he becomes yours without even realizing how or when it happened. The inner thigh holds nerves that are deeply connected to arousal, yes. But more importantly, it holds trust. A man doesn't open that space to just anyone. It's personal. It's raw. It's dangerously close to where he keeps the most instinctual part of himself. And yet, when your touch is careful, reverent, and patient, he doesn't feel exposed. He feels understood. That's the difference. You're not claiming him. You're not consuming him. You're tuning into him. You're telling him through that kiss, you don't have to give me everything. I'm here to feel everything you already are. What's even more powerful is the control you express by not rushing further. By stopping there at the thigh, you shift the energy completely. You remind him that seduction doesn't live in the obvious. It lives in the detail. It lives in the spaces most people pass by too quickly. You kiss him there not to tease, but to teach. You teach him how to slow down, how to receive, how to be seen in his most primal places without needing to hide. That kind of emotional safety wrapped in sensuality, that's unforgettable. That's what makes a kiss feel like an experience, not a move. This space also speaks to your confidence. Most people bypass it, too impatient to savor it. But you stay there. You explore. You listen to his body. That tells him everything he needs to know about who you are. Is the key to. You're not looking for validation. You're not following a script. You're creating your own rhythm. And in doing so, you invite him to do the same. You kiss his inner thigh like it matters. Because it does. It's not just a physical spot. It's a doorway to emotional connection, if you're brave enough to treat it that way. And maybe the most beautiful part, that kiss lingers, not just on his skin, but in his memory. Because no one else slowed down enough to recognize what you recognized. No one else paused long enough to speak to that part of him without words. And that's what makes it unforgettable. It's not just that your lips touched him. It's that your dam's intention did. That you made a private, powerful space feel not just erotic, but sacred. And once a man has felt that, once he's been kissed like that, he'll never forget the one who gave it to him.